Voice Through Your Hands, we started just under 5 years ago. My passion comes through my daughter. I have 3 beautiful girls. One of them has Down syndrome and has difficulty with speech, and we managed to give her a voice through her hands, and we realised that there was a lot of people out there that could have the same opportunities that she did. So that's why we wanted to set up Voice Through Your Hands and really advocate the importance of communication. From when we set up Voice Through Your Hands before to what we're doing now, we thought we needed to promote the importance of New Zealand Sign Language and also to teach New Zealand Sign Language. But as it turns out, we don't need to teach New Zealand Sign Language. What we do teach, though, is the vocab of New Zealand Sign Language, and we also teach how to use it and how to practically use it. Because you could go to night school and learn all those wonderful signs, which we totally recommend you go to night school and learn full NZSL from a deaf tutor. But using those signs that you've just learned in a day-to-day basis, like when you're cooking tea and you've got your children around you, or you've got a classroom full of 30 children and you've got a couple of students that need to use sign, or how do you actually practically do that on a day-to-day basis? So what our organisation gives is those resources to support them in that and to show them that it's not hard, and it's just signing is just really a formal way of gesturing. So it's just that next step. We offer support to families, advocacy. We're looking at providing a lot more resources. We've now just created our own dictionary, which is the first of its kind in Māori, English and New Zealand Sign Language. And so we're embracing all our languages that we use here in New Zealand. And we're now looking at other resources that schools and early childhoods and families may want and need to be able to get that communication out to the whole community. So we're forever growing and flexible with the future of where we're going. I guess what makes us a little bit more unique than a lot of organisations out there is that we're set up by parents in our organisation, and we're the ones that are, like for example myself, I'm a parent. I'm always a parent first, and then I've learnt all the professional and education side of things later, but I always keep my hat that I'm a parent first. So I know what it's like to actually use visual communication and New Zealand Sign Language on a day-to-day basis, and I know what it's like to have families not too sure why you're using sign when your child's hearing, and I know what it's like to try and get a school or early childhood centre to embrace using sign language. I know what it's like to get the local girls brigade or cheerleading community organisations to embrace having your child involved. And I think that's one of the key things that makes our organisation stand out, because we're very parent driven and we keep that parent voice. The best thing I love about this job is when they, when people get that moment where they go, oh, is that what you're talking about? Oh, it's not that hard at all. Because it's not hard. You know, what we're doing is really only the next steps up of gesturing. So when people, I always talk to people about, you know, when you're in a really noisy room and you want to try and, you know, get that message across, or you're trying to think of that word and you can't quite get that word out, you will always use your hands to gesture what you're trying to say. And that's all we're doing. It's only a follow-on from that, and then we're using the vocab of New Zealand Sign Language so that we're all communicating from the same base of language. So that's what I really enjoy. And when I get families say to me, you know, oh, now that we're using sign language, you know, my child's speaking more clearly, they're reading more, those are the times that just keep me going every day, is when I hear of those stories and I go, that's why I do what I do.